Good day, good people. Ndimdala pano vari kukushinga muzezwa kare paBackPage. Ndinamukela amahlabezulu ngumdala lapha. Ngumdala lapha living nayo Backpage. Ndinokuchingamidzai on the day that businessman Moses Pofu and Mike Chimombe, who spent their second weekend in custody, are expected back in court for the continuation of their bail application. Last week, the matter couldn't be heard because presiding magistrate Mwarewana Zwogofa wasn't feeling too well. They spent another weekend in remand prison after their lengthy bail application was postponed to today for continuation. Now, to matters of the Backpage. After FIFA's decision to extend the term of the ZIFA Normalization Committee's mandate, we now know that the ZIFA board elections can only be held latest in January 2025, and jostling for the ZIFA presidency has already started. The aspiring candidates have already come out to declare their interests, and campaigning has already started, especially on social media. The perennial failures of Zimbabwean football, especially the Warriors, have always been blamed on successive ZIFA administrators, even those reputed to have been of good standing, like Nelson Chirwa, faced criticism of letting the nation down. Of course, the Chirwa executive, with Ndumiso Gumede as Secretary General and Frank Valdemaka as Treasurer, was probably the best we ever had. Their achievements included making ZIFA one of the first, if not the first, football association in Africa to have their own headquarters and a national team bus, especially in the period before the FIFA Goal Project and FIFA Financial Assistance. But like others after them, such as Liam Gabe, Philip Chiangwa, Cuthbert Dube, Felton Kamambo, when the Warriors faltered, fingers were pointed at them. So, our question, pano pa let's talk, Latitaure Askulume, is, what is it that these people lacked which any of the aspirants have? We had very successful businessmen at the helm of the association before, such as Chiangwa and Mugabe, and they failed. We do have business people too on the list of aspirants. Should these be judged based on the record of their peers? United States-based businessman Richard Wangu Masodze is one of those vying for the post, and so is Brighton Ushendimaba, the man they call Punjab. He is the director of Simba Bora Football Club. Then there is the UK-based duo of Marshall Gore and FIFA agent Ellen Chiwenga. The Sunday Mail says it promises to be a long and exciting road, full of twists and turns, as more aspirants in the background have not directly come out in the open, or have spoken through third parties. These are the likes of Walter Magaya, Twine Piri, Alois Bunjira, Kudakwashe Mugari, and former Dynamos chairperson Kenny Mbayiwa. FIFA football agent Chiwenga has never made the ambitions a secret from as far back as 2020, when she announced intentions to challenge former president Felton Kamambo's bid for a second term in the polls that were supposed to be held in 2022. She's been relentless in a pursuit to lead the country's football association. If she is successful, she will become only the third African woman to lead a football association after Lydia Sekera of Burundi and Aisha Johansson of Sierra Leone. United Kingdom-based entrepreneur and football administrator Marshall Gore last week became the latest to throw his head into the ring. Gore, who has coordinated football activities in the diaspora for over a decade through his organizations such as Team Zimbabwe, Bora Africa, and African Football Association, took to social media to declare his interest in the hot seat that has been vacant for the last 2 years due to administrative challenges bedeviling the local game. In his campaign message, Gore said he wanted to bring a professional touch to the way the game was run.
This is a campaign that is genuine. This is a campaign that is driven by sincerity. This is a campaign that is driven by the love for the game, not the love for money. This is a campaign of service leadership. This is a campaign for the grassroots football development. This is a campaign to change the plight of our football. As you have seen in the last few years, our football has not been running perfectly.
Former Zimbabwe international Bunjira has been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. He is yet to publicly declare his intentions, although he is believed to be working behind the scenes. Efforts to draw him into the conversations recently drew vagueness, as he insisted he can only talk about ZIFA elections when the date and the time have been set. New York-based Zimbabwean businessman Mazodze, who owns 2 Division 1 teams, FC Wangu Mazodze and FC Wangu Mazodze City, is among those who have come out in the open on their intentions. We are trying to bring a new approach to the running of the Institute of Football. Former Caps United owner and ex-PSL chairman Twine Piri strongly touted to return to mainstream football administration, with the ZIFA presidency offering this opportunity. The other names that have been thrown around include veteran broadcaster Charles Mabika and legendary referee Felix Tagawari. Meanwhile, some previous ZIFA presidents have charmed their way to the top with their vast financial resources, which of course are their personal resources that have benefited none but themselves. How about one with the potential to do what the government has failed to do? That is to build stadiums. Of course, it will be wrong for a whole government to expect an individual to build stadiums for the country. But what choice do we have? It becomes doubly wrong, especially when we know that the government has enough money to allow an individual to loot funds that could build a decent stadium in the guise of a GOAT project. But well, what choice do we have? Then when that individual wants to do what the government has failed, he is frustrated by stupid administrative bottlenecks and politicking within local authorities. Now, he is taking his benevolence out of the country. Isn't that a shame? Yes. Yesterday, Magaya took further his football development efforts in the region after unveiling plans to build Hart Stadium 3 in Lilongwe, Malawi. Last week, he unveiled a similar structure in Maputo, Mozambique, named the Hart Stadium 2. When fully developed, the 2 facilities can host international matches. Yet in Zimbabwe, we don't have one. Asked why he has decided to develop facilities in other countries when stadiums in his own country were in a far worse condition, the Chitungwiza-born cleric said he was approached by Malawi to develop a stadium in that country. Malawi approached me and moved very fast with the paperwork. It's not the same with our councils. I want to build Chibuku Stadium or Gwanzira Stadium if permitted. Constructing Chibuku Stadium remains one of my top priorities, and I pray that one day my government will allow me to do that since my last efforts were shut down, said Magaya. A number of prominent football personalities, including former Warriors coach Baltema Brito and ex-national team captains Willard Katsande and Tapioca Pini, have publicly endorsed Magaya's candidacy. Warriors striker Tino Kadewere is the latest to back Maguire's ascendancy to the ZIFA top post. Meanwhile, former Warriors captain Ovidi Karuru has implored government to speed up renovations at the National Sports Stadium to enhance the team's chances of qualifying for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations finals in Morocco. But Karuru, let me tell you this. Let me tell you that this is too late. It's too late. Our home games will still be played away from home because the qualifiers start in 2 months. All the qualifiers will be played between September and November this year. The Herald says this raises fears the Warriors will again host their home AFCON qualifiers outside the country's borders. No, it doesn't raise fears. No, it does not raise fears because it is obvious that is what will happen, because we were told in May that renovations work at the National Sports Stadium will only commence in October. Well, that is if they do commence at all. Former Highlanders hitman Prince Dube has crossed the floor to join Tanzanian heavyweights Young African Sports Club on a 2-year contract after falling out with rivals Azam. Dube officially joined Young Africans, who are popularly known as Yanga, yesterday, although reports suggest the move was done in May and they were just waiting for the end of June to make it public. Tino Benza has taken advantage of the Premiership break to further sharpen his tools in England. The Herentals striker is on a 2-week attachment with an unnamed academy in the European country. He joined them early last week with a brief stint scheduled to end 2 days before the local top flight bounces back from the mid-season break. Something very wrong with this story. Why is this academy unnamed? What's the reason for the academy not to be named? Yet in the story, Tino Benza goes on and on talking about the same academy, yet he doesn't name it. Why? Benza yesterday said the attachment is going well and is picking up valuable lessons. I've been here for more than a week now and it's all good. I'm exposed to top-notch modern-day training methods and I believe I'll be able to do exactly what I'm being taught here when the league resumes. Ngezi Platinum midfielder Richard Hachiro says he almost quit football only 6 months before his dream call up to the Warriors. Hachiro enjoyed a frustrating 2023 Premier Soccer League season as he spent the greater part of its first half on the sidelines due to injuries. During that grueling 6 months, he at some point contemplated quitting professional football until his wife and father encouraged him not to give up on his dreams. Indeed, his dreams will come true when he received the call 3 days before the World Cup qualifier against Lesotho. Despite putting in a good shift in the middle of the pack, his debut was one to forget as the Warriors lost 2-0. The disappointment will be atoned with his man of the match performance in the Warriors' 2-0 victory against Zambia at the just-ended COSAFA Cup tournament. Akusikubhora chete kune ma-problems ekutadza kugadzirira for important assignments. Asikho ibhoreni kuphela lapho kula ma-problems okwahluleka ukulungisela yena. Kukhona lakho kumdlalo. Sigcine sibuza sibili ukuthi what is wrong with us as a nation? Why do we expect success when we don't take sport seriously? Firstly, Aslama stadiums. We play our home matches away and expect to go to the World Cup. Preparations for another men's World Cup are in turmoil. There's another men's World Cup. It's not football. Well, believe it or not, it's netball. You heard me right. Men's netball. The senior men's netball team's hopes of making it to the 2024 Netball World Cup hang in the balance. It is almost 6 months since they qualified for the Global Showcase, yet there seem to be no preparations for the team to appear at the prestigious tournament. The Golden Gems won the slot in December in Botswana when they finished the African Championship second behind champions South Africa. Resultantly, Zimbabwe and South Africa are expected to join 6 others from across the globe to battle it out for the world title in Jamaica between August 29 and September 1. However, as the clock counts down, preparations for the team to mark their maiden appearance at the Men's World Cup have not resumed. Zimbabwe Netball Association President Letitia Chipandu said the netball mother body is making frantic efforts to find funding for the team. Camp, she added, has been provisionally scheduled for girls' high school, although dates are yet to be announced. Dates are yet to be announced. when the tournament starts on the 29th of August, and today is the 8th of July. This is about 6-7 weeks, and dates have not been announced. We intend to have them to travel to Jamaica, but currently our coffers are dry, and this has been the biggest impediment so far, she said. The association is running around to see if it can get something for the team, but as things stand, we are not promising anything. However, indications are that there has not been proper communication between the Zimbabwe Netball Association and men's netball. Hold on. What? There hasn't been proper communication between the Zimbabwe National Association and men's netball. Wow. Zimbabwe National Netball Association are netball. They are men's netball. Should be. So what's this nonsense about? It's like saying there's no communication between ZIFA and the Warriors. What kind of nonsense is that? Anyways, this has left a disgruntled men's netball ensemble in the dark regarding the global showcase. I guess it's tit for tat. The women here, they seem to be saying Murugudei kumadzimai, the same way ZIFA seem to treat women's football. But sport should never be identified with any particular gender. Kana varume vachida netball ngavatambe the same way women play football, cricket and rugby, and they should be treated the same way. It's actually saddening to note how irrelevant men's netball is considered. My research on the Men's World Cup hit a brick wall because there is nothing even on Google about the tournament. There is nothing. To the sporting world, this is considered a non-event, hence there's nothing out there. I wonder what would have happened had a women's event been shut out similarly. Well, talking about women, chikwata chenhabvu chamadzimai echitendero chavapostori chiri kukava nhabvu dzinomwisa mvura mudunhu reMashonaland Central. Mazvinzwa zvakanaka, hamuna kukanganisa kunzwa. Ndati chikwata chenhabvu chemadzimai echitendero chavapostori chiri kukava nhabvu dzinomwisa mvura mudunhu reMashonaland Central. Madzimai echikwata cheMashonaland Central Provincial Apostolic Church chinotungamirwa navabhigi musanzika vanonziva madzibaba Jona ndicho chiri pamusoro peMashonaland Central ZIFA Women's League. Chikwata icho chinonzi icho the Jona Queens nezuro chakazvambura chinonzi Shedza 1 chekushamba kuzvibodzwa 6-0 kumutambo wakatambirwa kuSentinel. Chief striker wavo madzimai Christy Mumba vane makore 17 okuzvarwa ndivo the current top goal scorer with 8 goals in 2 matches so far. IJona Queens yangena kule league kusizini yanale njalo bakhangela ukunqoba esiyongena kuDivision 1 ngomnyaka ozayo. Jona Queens head coach Noah Somani ndodayira anonzi madzibaba Noah uthi yena iqembu lidlala kuhle sibili njalo lizimisela ukunqoba kungaba yiliphi iqembu wiphi ileague. Madzibaba Noah is quoted as saying, "We are playing good football and we are hoping to go to Division 1, from there to Premier League because we treat every game with seriousness." But I'm sure Madzibaba Noah said, Faro Kamuri, we are playing good football and we are hoping to go to Division 1. Amen. From there to Premier League because we treat every game with seriousness. Faro Kamuri. Faro Kamuri on way. Madzibaba Ndara signing out. Till we meet again in the next chapter. Bye.